Hello. This video today is a promotion for my upcoming Labor Day weekend barn sale. If words like antiques, primitives, farmhouse, country, or even yard sale, if words like that interest you, you need to watch this video. After you've watched it, if you like it, and you saw it on Facebook, share it with your friends. If you got friends that you know like this sort of thing, tag them. If you watch this video on YouTube, then subscribe to my channel. Share it with your people on whatever your social media choice is. If you're local and you like this kind of thing, don't miss finding this place. Coming out, spend some time with me. Guarantee you we'll have fun. If you're an antique dealer or a picker or someone who's really into primitives and country and farmhouse stuff, it'd be well worth your while to find this place if you're within 100 miles of it. Mark down the dates, screenshot that sign behind me, and come see me on Labor Day weekend. I'm going to make a bold statement. The best antique shop you never heard of is the Hard Times Guys Barn on South Leatherwood Road. Come out, check it out. Before you leave, let me know what you think. I'm telling you, this barn and the other buildings here are the best antique shop if you like this kind of stuff in Lawrence County. Today we're going to go on a little walk around tour in the barn. Labor Day weekend, and by weekend I mean Friday and Saturday before Labor Day. Skip Sunday, I'm not going to do it that day. And then Monday, which is Labor Day. I'm going to have the barn open. Hadn't been open for an event yet this year, and so I'm shooting for Labor Day weekend. I'm going to have it open, probably have it open for the first fall tour for the Country Neighbors Tour too, which will be a couple weeks after that. But for sure, I'm trying to get it open for Labor Day weekend, Friday, Saturday, and then Monday of Labor Day. Right now I got a mess, and you're going to see it as we walk through this video. First thing we're looking at here is, and then you can see I'm starting to get organized. That's pretty organized right there, what we're looking at. It's an old blanket chest that you've seen in other videos. Now you see part of what the problem is. That's not very organized right there. That's right across the aisle from where we were just looking. Hiding in there is, I see a shallow church pew under a lot of that stuff. And the rest of that stuff needs a lot of work before people can see what they're looking at. There, again, is something, and that cabinet with all the drawers in it, you're going to see that in the next video I make after this one. I won't say any more about that, but that's one of the new things that I've done, projects that I've worked on since the last time I had a video. And there's several of them around because it's been a long time since we've actually had the barn open for an event. There's some more things. I just love that old primitive box with all that old paint on it. There you can see, now you're starting to see a mixture of organization and a mess. That aisle to the right over there by that pie safe is blocked. You can't even get through there, and Betty's grappling at me because she can't get to the freezer that's over there. There's some more stuff that's in disarray. There's that aisle down through there. It's anything but open and clear where people could get through it. That's a good old walnut pie safe right there. Here's another pretty good pie safe. But as you can see, there's lots of clutter, lots of stuff in the aisle. There's a box and a stool turned upside down in that aisle. What are we looking at there? It's more things going to have to be drug out and get organized so that you can see what's here. But that gives you an idea of how this barn is. There's a lot of things in here if you can get to them and see them. There's stuff in there that you can't even get to. I know there's a dry sink project down in that mess that I've been intending to work on now for 2 or 3 years, and it's got buried to where now you can't even see it. There's another primitive church pew hiding in plain sight. It's got covered up. That one came from that Hard Rock Baptist Church. It's out there in the country between Williams and Silverville. Some more stuff. We got Crocs. If you like Crocs, I got a lot of them. There's several of them back here behind me, and over there in the barn, there's some more right there. It's a nice old primitive step back. Those Crocs are sitting in, if you like that kind of thing. There it is on the bottom. I've got what you're looking at there in the middle of that, and it's hard to pick out stuff, but in the middle of that is, what do you call that? Clark spool cabinet, or Clark, yeah, it's a spool cabinet. I was going to say ribbon cabinet, but that's a spool cabinet. And you can see that it's like a basket case. There's a lot of the drawers and stuff that go in it are piled there on top of it. It needs some tender love and care. That's about the only way I can afford one. I've got one around here, and you're probably looking at a picture of it right now. And it looked like that at one time. Now I got it looking like that and restored it to what it is. So I can't afford to buy one of them any other way. So come out here and look at the one that I've already restored, and you might think you can't buy it either. But then that one right there, I guarantee you can buy that one if you can do a little work to get it back what it should look like. There's a couple of nice old step back cupboards there. Those are like middle 1800s cupboards. You can see some more Crocs in the top of that one. I think books in the other one. Both of those are 2 pieces. In other words, that top will set off, so makes them a lot easier to handle when they're built like that. Here's a pie safe, needs a little TLC. I don't know whether it'll still be looking like that by Labor Day or not, but I mean, it'll be here, but it might get that a little more straightened up than it is between now and then. A couple of pitcher pumps sitting there on top of it. A lot of clutter and a lot of mess back there behind it. There's another church pew hiding there. You have to look hard to see it, but there's a primitive church pew in that mess. And that one came from Leesville, the old Methodist church in Leesville that burned several years ago. That primitive church pew came out of that. I've had that thing 30 or 40 years. I bought it at an auction that Dr. Buchanan, local dentist, had here at the Bedford Armory. And I've always liked it better than someone else, but I've got more of them church pews than I need, and I'm getting too old to keep this stuff around here. Those church pews will be out where you can see them. If you'd like primitive church pews and you want one, I've got several of them here. Come out and get yourself one. The price is going to be right on them. Here's more, I almost said junk, but that's hidden treasures. That's what that is. There's some, you can see why I need to have a sale. I need to get some of this stuff gone so I got room to do other things. A lot of that stuff right there is stuff that you need if you do the things that I do. You're always needing a board. You're always needing a piece of trim. You're always needing something to finish something with. And there's stuff in there, I don't even know what's in there anymore. It's got so piled up and so cluttered that I have to dig even to find anything. And I'm going to have that stuff dug out and spread out where you can see what it is. And if you need that kind of stuff, this is your place. It's going to be bargain basement time when I get stuff like that out this time. There's some more, just, you know, it's everywhere, and the aisles are blocked everywhere. Back there in front of that little blue step back, that aisle's blocked. You can't get through it. If you like those blocks, those little wooden blocks with the letters on them, I got quite an assortment of those. There's 2 cupboards there. Back over against the wall, I see a coffee box and some other things. That'll be out where you can get at it and see it. Yeah, there's that coffee box. There's a couple of old pig feeder bins. There's a blue blanket chest down there underneath that. There's a good walnut piece. Primitive walnut. I'd call that a jelly covered, but it's a cupboard. Nice old primitive piece. I think those doors are pegged. There's some more stuff. There's another aisle that's blocked. I'll have that all open. That'll be cleaned up. You'll be able to see what's in there. There's that other pie safe, and I mentioned that. I'm going to mention that pie safe. It's going to be in the next video. I'm going to talk about a lady called Ann Hyde and tell you a little story about her. And I'll probably say something about some pie safe doors she traded me. Right there you're looking at those doors. She traded me those pie safe doors for some work that I did for her. And I built a pie safe around the doors. There it is. Pretty nice little pie safe. That's cider press. Apple cider press or fruit press. I prefer to call it apple cider press because that's what those are mostly used for. I've got two of those. One of them's a little better shape than the other one. I intend to restore both of them, but you know, I'm 78 years old and running out of time. I got a lot of projects in here. Somebody needs to come out with the same vision that I had for that and buy it from me and take it and restore it, take some pictures of it, send them back to me and say, here's what you need to do with that one you got left. Here's another pile of miscellaneous things. That's a really good box down there on the bottom of that pile. It's been around here a while. It's a good old dovetailed toolbox. That's some stuff looking at in another building. In fact, some of that stuff's changed since I took this picture the other day. That homemade seed separator over there on the left. I cut that thing off and turned it into the top part of it's still a seed separator. I'm gonna put legs on it, but I turned the bottom of it into a pretty sweet looking little crock bench or crock table. Probably show you a picture of it before we get done here. See back in there, there's just all kinds of stuff back in there. I see some stackable, like restaurant style chairs back there. If you need something like that, I've got several of them. They'll probably be in the neighborhood of $1 a piece. You might even make a better deal on that for yourself if you want to take some of that stuff home. Here's an old small seed separator. It's just got a good look. That'd be really good looking sitting in somebody's business or on somebody's porch. It provide the ambience you need for if you like that kind of thing, primitive antiques. Found those drawers. I don't know how long they'd been here, been lost. Found them the other day and cleaned them up a little bit. They'll be for sale. You like tables like that? I got a lot of them. That's probably my really recent project. That one there with, I think that's got 14 drawers in it. One of my daughters really likes that, so I don't know if that'll still be here by the time the sale starts or not. She said, Dad, I want a first chance to buy that. And I like to sell it to somebody that doesn't get the daughter price, but there it sits. Pretty sweet little cabinet. 14 drawers. Here's one of those metal daisy churns. I think there's 3 or 4 of them around here. More crocks. That cabinet there on the right with painted letters on the drawers. That's another one of those Ann Hyde projects you'll be seeing in that next video. Stuff over against the wall. More stuff. You've seen a lot of this stuff before in other videos. Seen that little footstool bench kind of a thing. It used to have splint, hickory, or wicker on it, and now it's got leather. There's another, sitting underneath that quail lamp is another one of those projects where there used to be drawers sitting around here, and they sit here for a long time. Finally, I turned them into something else. Lonesome Dove. But I'll talk about those sleigh bells in the next video too. There's several buildings here. I think 5 or 6, depending on how many you count, and they all got stuff in them like this. Labor Day weekend, whatever days that is, the last Friday and Saturday in August, and then Labor Day, Monday, September the 1st, barn will be open 3 days. Friday, Saturday, and then Monday. Come out and see me. Got lots of stuff. Going to try to get rid of a lot of it that obviously projects I'm never going to get to. I'm finally beginning to see that time's going to run out on me. I need to get busy on projects and quit buying new ones. Labor Day weekend. Come out and see the Hard Times guy. This has been an opportunity for you to go through my barn without actually being here, but there's more stuff here than you can see in a day. So come out and dig around, have a good time. Bring a big truck and a pocket full of money and all your friends. I'm the Hard Times guy. Have a good day.